everybody, and welcome to another episode of MTG Study Hall. I am one of your hosts, Brett Killow, and I am joined, as almost always, by my co-hosts,
JC
and
Dave.
And so before we jump into it, we are going to do a little bit of bookkeeping. JC, you want to take care of that for me?
Sounds good. Show your support by checking us out. Like us on Facebook.com/TCG University. Sub on YouTube at TCG University. Go ahead and hit that like button if you like our content. YouTube does like it if you do that at the beginning of the show for some reason. Enrolling at Patreon.com/TCG University. And we'd like to thank our sponsors, all the people who donate to the Patreon. If you want to get your name up here, check out our tiers at patreon.com/TCG University. So, Andrew Dang, Clay Cardwell, Jay Rogers, Jarrett Hubbard, Jerome Weeks Jr., Justin Farce, Kat Maria, Lucinda Letica, Samantha Stephen, Teodora Ruiz, and Tyler Zane Pease. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for what you do.
And then, so we are sponsored by Cards Custom Build, Inked Gaming, and the new TCGU bookstore. So we have merch. I am wearing some merch. Now this is Patreon. These are Patreon specific merches, but there is non-Patreon specific merch for those who want merch and who aren't on Patreon, or if you're on Patreon and you want additional merch. So check it out. The stuff's cool if you like us.
There will be links in the description. You don't have to memorize this right now.
We'll get you hooked up with all that. And speaking of Patreon, we just finished our pre-show, which if you are a Patreon, if you're at the $1 tier, you get to watch us live and get the pre-show, or you can watch it after the fact. And we are redoing the Patreon tiers. We're kind of adjusting some of this stuff. There's going to be a video up that Tam's going to do that's going to explain everything. So if you're watching live, it should be up tomorrow, and if you're watching this when it normally gets posted on YouTube, the video should already be up. So if you're interested in figuring out what's going on Patreon, there's a lot of new cool stuff, a lot of community interaction if you guys want to, if you want to bug us or make us do things. So yeah, check out that video. We'd appreciate it. And we're going to actually start talking about, well, we're about to start talking about Magic, but before that, it's been 2 weeks because we lied to you because we're liars, and we didn't record on the 26th, so we're a little behind, so we need to catch up. What have we been doing in and out of Magic? JC went first last time. Dave, you're up.
Oh, it's all been a blur.
Because the holidays.
Yeah. Pretty much all the holidays, yeah. I think you saw after I found out we weren't recording last week because, you know, some of us are liars. Not all of us, just some.
Tam made us all liars.
Not saying who.
I am. It's Tam. Tam did it.
Probably Tam.
It was Tam.
But I've just been playing a stupid amount of video games. You know, that's just it. Just playing a bunch of video games.
Pokemon Sword?
Shield.
Shield. Oh yeah, you're on Shield.
I'm on the Shield plan.
Sword for life.
GameStop had some sort of like really.
Is GameStop still doing like you get shinies and legendaries like through things?
It was for their used stuff. On the 26th, I went in and it was buy two get two free.
Okay.
So I ended up like they for some reason had a sealed copy of Ni no Kuni 2 that was considered used. As I'm like looking at the guy and like, I don't think that one was used. He's like, yeah, enjoy this pre-owned copy. So I'm not gonna say which ones because I'm not a narc. But yeah, no, they gave me the hookup. I spent like hardly anything on a bunch of PlayStation 4 games. So that was dope. And then, you know, in Magic, they've been putting the special events up there. They did the Artesian, I guess is what they're calling it now. Artisan?
Artisan, yeah.
Yeah, which is what we used to call peasant back in the olden days. But you can use as many uncommons as you want, and then it has its own separate thing. I've been playing that, obviously blue-black because reasons.
Oh, yeah.
And then the current one that's up is the Shake-Up Standard, which I've been kind of having some fun with. Like, it's nice that they've decided to put in these stupid formats, or I guess stupid's not really the right word, but these silly formats?
Wacky,
silly, we'll call wacky.
One-off.
I like wacky formats they do periodically until Theros Beyond Death comes out. So yeah, that's been dope. I haven't had to play against the stupid cat with the ovens. I haven't had to play against any Teferis. Obviously, Oko's still hella banned. And I've just been playing Blue Black Reanimator.
Against that white cat that when it comes in. It's like a blessed cat or something like that.
Oh,
It gives
the one that
1/1s
gets
to all the
counters
other
on
cats.
the other. Yeah. So far, it feels like the meta is primarily dominated with blue-white flyers.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
And I've been playing Reanimator.
Blue's got a lot of good commons.
And this
yeah.
is, this is historic. Oh no, you're just
No.
the shakeup. The shakeup.
Yeah,
is-
the shakeup is not historic.
The Artisan was
Yeah, the
historic.
Artisan was historic. And so obviously we wanted to play Disinformation Campaign because that was sweet.
that seems fun.
But the 3 reanimation spells that are currently legal in standard, yeah, those are not on the shakeup standard ban list because no one cares about your sacrifice a creature in addition to the cost, and then put one into play, and then put one in your hand, barter for bone, blood for bone, bones in it, and I'm sure
Yep.
bartering and blood.
You do some of those things.
A lot of words that start with B is the moral of the story. But then you just jam in your Agent of Treachery on turn 4, ideally, and start
Oh.
taking their lands, and then they get mad they don't want to play Magic anymore.
Wait, that
so,
thing takes lands?
Permanence. Oh yeah. Well, the cool part, I think it's
Permanence.
shit. Tim, assistance, please. Can you pull up Agent of Treachery? Because I don't remember if you draw when you have 4 permanents you don't own but control,
4 sounds right.
or if it's 3.
I think
I know
it's
it's
4.
3 cards you draw, so I'm assuming it's 4 permanents you control but don't own. Treachery.
Drum roll.
3 or more permanents you don't own. Okay. Yep. There you
Okay.
go.
And then you draw. What do you draw?
You draw 3 cards on the end step.
The more
Every
Yeah.
end step? Or every
Every
end
end step, yeah. Every end step with Agent of Treachery in play. So like there have been certain games where I'm like, shit, I have to kill one of my Agent of Treacheries. Why? Because I'm gonna fucking mill out. This is not good. That's not. And there was a period where I was actually testing that for actual factual standard, and that deck had a surprisingly favorable matchup against Field of the Dead because you just took their Field of the Dead.
Oh yeah, that'll
Like,
work.
give me that land.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take 2 more, and I'm gonna start making zombies.
When you just steal their stuff.
I'm gonna make my own zombies with blackjack and hookers. Probably not either of those things, but definitely with their Field of the Deads.
Now I want Casino World really bad.
Casino World.
They probably won't do it, but that'd be sweet. I'm still holding out.
We'll
for
workshop
Wild
that
West.
after. We'll
That'll be
workshop
post show?
that out. Yeah, that's post show.
Post show.
Casino World. But yeah, it's been some good fun to kind of break up the monotony of where we're at with standard, because we know that it's not going to last for much longer because the new set's on the horizon. And
Lame duck season.
exactly,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, okay.
How about you, JC? What have you been doing?
Oh, so my 2 weeks have been a lot of holidays. You know how that is.
Oh, yeah.
Traveling, family, that whole thing. My family was like a couple people in the family were like, "Hey, what do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, I'm easy to shop for. I like anime and nerdy things, and I do a Magic the Gathering podcast, so you can buy me Magic stuff if you want." So I got a couple packs and opened up an Embercleave, and I'm like, "Okay, well, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that present."
Getting
So,
booster packs as a present is awesome because you get to unwrap it twice.
Yeah.
I had that happen. It's like, ooh, I got booster packs, and then you gotta open your boosters.
I'm curious. How do you guys open your boosters? Because I'll tell you how I open my boosters, right? So I just get the top open. Like, I just pull it open, like, real gently, so the top's all open, and I, like, slide the cards out, and then I slow roll them. I don't go to the end. I start from the beginning.
Wow.
I slow roll
okay,
the
so
cards.
You have way more discipline than I do,
Nor-
because I
and-
crack
and-
the
and
pack,
then-
look at the rare, and then throw the rest out. Just throw it right in the dumpster.
just
Who
right in the
cares?
trash.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
Yes.
no, I don't need these, like,
I
these quality commons.
if it's a draft pack, I skip to the last card, look at my rare, look to see if I have a foil, and then if there's any like chase uncommons that are a few bucks, I'll like keep an eye out,
man.
but rarely because they'll just get tossed in the whatever set's box. For the collector's packs, I slow roll and I
Do
go
you?
through one at a time. That's a $30 pack.
Dude,
$25.
I don't
yeah.
know where the rarity slots are in those
It is-
either. So it's just like all of it looks.
Oh,
cool.
you mean the
Yeah.
collector packs?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there are like 10 rares in and 5 rares.
Yeah,
something like
there,
that.
and
There's
a lot
eight
of
at least
them,
two.
a lot of them are foils though, and alt arts and stuff too. so
Which I'm not like. I have one of the Doom Foretold's that has the extended border, which is really cool. But then it's foil, so it's gonna warp like fucking crazy. It's like,
yeah,
But those are the ones that are super pricey because the commander players want the foil.
they should just
extended
foil
art.
both sides of the card. That way, it doesn't warp
That
in
is-
any particular direction.
when you
It's not
say
like-
when you say it like that.
It's not like anybody sees the back anyway. Everyone's gonna have it in a sleeve. Foil the back of it.
You'd be surprised. I've had to invest more money than I care to admit in Perfect Fits because of transform cards and because I always choose the wrong kind of
You're
shields.
right, transform cards.
Or sleeves. Like I every time that I register Search for Azcanta in any deck list that I have, I immediately go, I can tell which one Search for Azcanta is. God damn it! Now I have to perfect fit
it's
this
important
deck.
to keep the backs the same for a reason.
Yeah,
And
no,
you gotta
that's-
break your
that's
perfect
actually-
fits, and then
Perfect,
and then you play Search for Azcanta. And every time you do, you die on turn 6 and never get to flip the stupid card because fuck that card.
Yeah.
You know it.
Anyway, you were telling us about Christmas or
Other
your
than
holidays.
that, yeah. Christmas. I finally got back to podcasting a little bit, so that's fun. New Cast episode out. Woo. Other than that, Magic itself, we are in kind of a lame duck season. I've been looking into some of the spoilers because they're cool, and I can't help myself. And the spoilers are cool. I've also been looking into some of the lore and stuff like that because, like, a lot of me was like, well, how much of a dick actually was Heliod? Is he like, he's a real big dick.
Oh yeah, he sucks. He's terrible.
Yep.
But his new card is awesome. But we're not there yet. So sorry.
We're not there yet.
I'm excited about that card.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, just looking into some lore for internal headcanon material. I still want Sarah to come back. I mean,
I can't judge you because I have this whole convoluted scenario where Yawgmoth could come back.
I'm still real bent out of shape. Yawgmoth is a pretty boy, but what are you gonna do?
He is supposed to be pretty.
How? I've read the Thran. He was a hideous fucking.
No, he
troll.
wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
No,
What
he
are you
wasn't.
talking about?
No, he was suave and everybody liked him. Like the whole point, like Rebecca had like the one thing she had to shield from her mind that she was like in love with him. No, he was like a suave badass in the Thran. I
No,
think.
I feel like we got different copies of that.
We need to
book.
reread. Let's
Also-
reread the Thran.
specifically in Magic 2, I've been trying to increase my collection of War of the Spark a little bit. I like that set. I like a lot of the mythos behind it. I mean, honestly, I like seeing reprints of the Planeswalkers, even if they're not really great reprints of the Planeswalkers. I mean, I just kind of dig the set. So
Some degree of nostalgia, and
Yeah.
even when they try and depower some of the Planeswalkers, they end up screwing up. Like,
Yeah.
get up on my soapbox, I guess. I'm sorry.
well, and honestly, I feel the set like has a lot of things that obviously have to do with Planeswalkers, like generally. So I feel like they're gonna be useful kind of chaff going on because I play a lot of Commander and stuff like that. So
I mean, their idea for that was they wanted a Planeswalker in every pack.
yeah,
Yeah, and there was.
And goodness.
I don't know. I really like that set. But
I like that set too.
We're gonna get to that later on.
So that's me.
Okay,
Brett.
and me. I started and finished Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is a video game. I played it on the Switch. It's by I should know the director's. I should know the game director's name. I don't. It's by one of the original Castlevania guys,
okay.
who is not with Konami.
It feels like it's Konami.
He's not with Konami anymore,
yeah,
and so it is an old school Castlevania game, but it's called Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
So what is wrong with Konami that they have all this talent deciding they don't want to deal with them anymore?
Oh, they just do pachinko machines, really. They do gambling machines
way.
in Japan.
They still do DDR machines. DDR Ace is
the
still
mo-
relatively new, and they still support
Konami,
it.
No,
And that's Konami.
Go to Jim Sterling and his hash.
Just a quick aside. I used to be able to do Era on heavy. I could almost do Twilight Zone. Anyway, I'm done. I'm
If
done.
you want to know why Konami's terrible, my understanding is the working conditions are terrible. They don't care about any of their franchises. They literally just care about making pachinko machines because that's where the money's at.
That's
If
on
you
par
want
with
to
what I
know
expected.
more, Jim Sterling, just Google #fuck Konami. Jim Sterling will do plenty on it. Bro, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a super awesome game. If you ever played the old school, well, it's not like super duper old school. It's like
We're talking Symphony of the Night era.
Like no, it is.
Okay.
The game feels exactly like Symphony of the Night.
Metroidvania.
Yeah,
I believe is what they
Metroidvania.
like calling it.
Order
No.
of Ecclesia.
And like every enemy you kill, you can have a chance to
Saw that
absorb
face.
you have a chance to absorb a power from.
Oh.
And one of the cool things about the game
yeah.
is like, if you want to get really crazy broken overpowered, you can. And so by the end of it, like the final boss took me a minute, and I just went rapier build and just like tapped Y with really high strength and just went you're dead.
That's normally how I played those kinds of games anyway. I just had acquired the power of God and just one hit the final boss.
No, I was sitting there next to
fuck 'em,
I was sitting there next to my girlfriend.
We'll grind this shit out.
And it's like, well, I need to craft this steak so I can up my stats. So I'm going to sit here and kill this flying cow with has a 1% drop rate on this as long as it takes. And I did because that's how my brain works.
that sounds like shiny hunting.
Oh yeah, no, it's not far off. So
How is the shiny hunting going, by
I
the way?
gave up on it. I know. Let me be clear with you here. I killed 1,345 stunkies and didn't get a damn shiny from it. And I'm like, you know
So-
what? It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. And it's not like.
and you
and
can
the
see
thing
me
is,
like turning the gears in my head too to figure out what the drop
I think it's
what the drop rate's supposed to be.
minimum's 1 in 500 something.
Yeah, it's 1 in 586 or something
I think
like
I
that.
think it's 6 before you get the
516.
shiny because you
No,
want the
it-
shiny charm before you start doing that, don't you?
No, it goes. It
Shiny
goes,
Charm
it
brings
goes
it down to
down
4
even
something.
further. It goes down to 4 something.
And you have sword.
I have sword.
Sword.
S word.
Swords for
so,
500. We'll have to trade some stuff and try and get a Japanese
So-
4 Japanese dittos. 2 for me, 2 for you.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And also, I'm so sorry, I'm taking
Oh, no,
from
no,
your
no,
thing,
no.
but, I also play late at night sometimes and stuff like that, and you turn the internet on, so like you trade cards and stuff with all like the Japanese and AU players and stuff like that. It's cool.
I need to figure out how to change mine, like costume as well, because I'm still wearing like the beret
When
and,
you
and
walk-
the sweater and all that.
If you walk
so-
out of a dressing room, it'll say, "Do you want to update your trainer card?"
Yeah.
And you can update it at any Pokemon Center.
like honestly, I think as far as like the costumes go, it's honestly probably the fire dude that has the. I don't even know why he has like the sweat thing around his neck, but it's kind of cool.
Because he's working out constantly.
Because
he's that old guy, right?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, he's very clearly the second
okay.
oldest of the gym leaders, and that guy is fucking swole. He
Tam's
is in
showing
real
us the
good shape.
podcast time because we're still in the intro. Okay, so Bloodstained Ritual of the Night started and beat it, and then I just last night started Death Stranding, which I am loving so far. It got real mixed reviews, but I love Hideo Kojima. And,
Yeah, it's Kojima. Like, why wouldn't you play it?
Watching Norman Reedus run around with a baby on his chest while Guillermo del Toro dumps just reams and reams of like made up science-y terms about what happened. It's amazing.
Is he like narrating it?
No, he's like he's your Otacon. Guillermo del Toro is your tech guy. He's Dead Man.
I need this fucking.
It's
game.
really fun.
All right, calling off the podcast. I'm
Yeah,
going home to buy this and play it.
We're gonna go switch the podcast to a Death Stranding live stream of me playing Death Stranding, which is watching me carry boxes across the country. That's what the game is, but
Walking
somehow it's
simulator
fun.
or something.
But they it's balanced. A big part of it is just putting 80 pounds on your back and like walking down a hill.
do you have to balance?
You have to use LNR if you get overweighted or stumble. You have to like catch yourself, and you can like hunker and you go slower, and you've got to think about, do I have too much weight on this side of my body? Am I equally balanced? But then they'll be like,
You're gonna be a monster when you start playing like virtual reality games.
but
All right,
the best
now-
but every now and then invisible hand ghosts show up, and you go from I need to walk across the stream to I need to not get pulled down into that black goo, like from that one not Disney children's movie that everyone saw but no one can remember the name of.
Fern Gully.
No, not Fern Gully. There's like a
Fern Gully,
It wasn't Fern Gully.
The PETA advertisement.
It wasn't Fern Gully. It was this one. Like there's like
Greenpeace.
this kid. There's like this
Greenpeace.
big thing of black oil, and there's like these little brothers, and there's like floating through the giant thing of black oil on this bed. I have distinct memories. I can't remember.
Dude,
this
we
movie.
are about to like get into some creepypasta type territory or some shit. Like I'm waiting for JC to say, "Yeah, I remember that," and then like give like a slightly different telling of it, and then you getting creeped out, and then us finding like some creepy puppets or some shit. I don't know. It's
Yeah, no, and then what happened?
had a
Then
thought and it got away from me.
and then Sinbad played a genie in it.
Mandela effect.
Okay, those are the video games I played, and then I've been playing Brawl on Arena because I have Brawl-A-Days. I did some of the side things, but mostly I'm just trying to play Brawl all the time. I'm very mad about Brawl-A-Days still, but playing Brawl all the time is awesome. So we're gonna start the show now. Well, we're gonna go into topic 1. What would you say, something, Tam? Okay, I thought you said something. Anyway, we're gonna start. We're gonna go into topic 1. Theros spoilers. We're gonna go into
So
the
it's.
new. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like I know generally we have taken a like let's not talk about spoilers so much on this show stance.
Well, we do. We
In
don't
the
talk
past,
about
but-
leaks. So leaks, I will throw up spoiler warnings.
That's
We're
fair.
in the midst of spoiler season.
I was gonna say yeah.
This is
it's
official.
really got into official spoilers.
We are, and so when the show goes live on YouTube, you will know some more cards. We're just going to be talking about the cards that have been spoiled that we think are neat. We're going to have them just a little unorganized because only part of the set's out. We are going to do some stuff once the full set's released. We're going to do a couple additional videos. We're still working out exactly what those are going to be. So if you have any requests, go ahead and throw those in the comments. But we're just going to start talking about some of our favorite cards, and we're going to try to throw them up on the screen. It's a little harder with spoilers because we don't get to use Gatherer to do that, but we're going to try our darndest.
Well, I wrote down some card names.
So, okay, You're ready. Dave, you're on deck. JC, you're up. What are some of the cards you want to talk about?
I'll talk about this one first because it also brings up a vague topic. It is if Tam, you want to bring this up, KUNOROS.
It's a black card.
Black white.
So
black white.
in order for me to do this, I got to have the color.
It is.
So it'd be multi, right?
Yep, gold color.
It's that little Cerberus looking dude.
Yep, it looks like
This
Cerberus.
guy.
There he is.
Cool.
That guy.
All right, I'll try and keep up.
All right, good deal. So he is a 3/3 legendary creature hound, which there's quite a few good quality hounds out there for one. So legendary hound, cool.
Where he's a 7/7 who, when he deals well, you can pay 7 life and draw 7 cards, and he costs 8.
Yep, I have to complain every time a Hydra doesn't cost like 7.
Is that a thing?
The Hydras have a certain amount of heads, I think. I don't
Well,
know.
I
don't know
thought
if
the whole
it's a
thing with the
set.
Hydra is when you slice one head off, then 2 take its place. Hail Hydra.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I did say you were on deck.
Wrong. Pseudo
But
fascist organization.
mini transition. Tam, I need you to pull up Polykranos. He's gold, and it's one immediately next to the card we just looked at.
Multicolor?
There it is. Yep.
Boom.
Queen Papadopoulos.
I thought Polykranos was a guy.
I'm not sure. We've always just referred to it, and that's mainly because of that episode of C-Lab 2021.
Okay.
Also, can I point out just real quick, like, there's some colorful as shit art in this new set that's coming up. Like, everything's, like, got purples and pinks and greens in it.
They got a great color palette for this set. I'm really happy with it. So, people, it's on the screen. You can see it. And for our viewers at home, Dave, read the words, because I'm blind.
I can't.
Oh, I
read all
can't
that.
read those
I cannot make that out.
That's okay. I got it. I've got my careful.
Nightmare rectangle.
I've got my show notes, and by show notes I mean Reddit's open. Okay, Polykranos or Pelukranos, I've heard it both way. Unchained is 0/0 for 4, 1 black, 1 green, and 2. When it enters the battlefield, it comes in with 6 1/1 counters, and if you pay its escape cost, so if it comes in from your yard with the escape cost, it comes in with 12 1/1 counters instead. Damage dealt to it knocks counters off it, so if you deal 5 damage, it's going to lose 5 counters.
Pretty standard thing.
That's a replacement effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
I think it has to be, otherwise.
And then you
it
can
just dies
pay
really quick.
3, 1 black, 1 green, and 1, and it fights another target creature.
Nice.
And the escape cost is 6, and then you exile 6 cards. This card seems sweet. Like, a couple people, like, this has been kind of mixed on Reddit. Like, this seems really, really, really playable to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but
it's very fun. I don't know if this is necessarily going to be like a standard all-star. It seems definitely standard playable in limited. If you open this at the pre-release, this means you're playing Golgari colors.
Yep.
Like you're playing this card. You double splash for it if you have to. Like this card is insane.
This card's
you
incredible.
definitely
Bomby.
play this in limited.
Definitely good.
But like the repeated removal, and it's one of those things, and I'm going to admit this now before I do any more card evaluation. I'm having a hard time trying to wrap my head around how many cards are on average going to be in my yard. So like in my head,
that is an interesting thing because a lot of the escape mechanics are 3, 4 cards.
and so this one
Get out of your yard.
You do have to compete with other things that have the escape mechanic.
Yeah.
What I would say if you open this, I would probably try and have some sort of build that doesn't rely too much on escape and expect to maybe pay the escape cost maximum 2 times in one game. You probably end the game if you escape it exactly once, because that means they've already had to chew through 6 of the counters. Like, I assume that you get to fight at instant speed, right?
Yeah, you just pay 3 to fight.
Pay
You
three
just
to
keep
fight.
doing it. Now it's going to get smaller after every fight, but a 12/12 is real big.
Yeah.
And there's also a 6/6 for 4.
Yeah,
so
6/6 are hard enough to
so
deal with,
I mean,
too.
it's got a downside with losing those counters. But
Yeah.
and I mean that's the downside. But every other,
I think in some instances it could be an upside, because then that gets you closer to being able to escape it. Because I don't think
Yeah, I
there are going to
guess
be a lot
that's
of
true.
things that'll... Well, I guess we've seen a few of the spoilers so far. There are some cards that let you draw discard, like Thirst for Meaning.
There's cards that let you add counters too.
Yeah, there's
I
definitely
don't know
stuff-
how many are in the set.
there's
but
stuff that lets you throw things into the yard. There are some fueling cards, but this got previewed on the day we're recording this. We're recording Thursday. This card is exciting. And it's also awesome for a commander. Like, it can be your commander, but you also get to do all sorts of fun stuff. So people were talking about, like, well, Jared, if you're playing Jared Golgari Lichlord, it's a fun thing to hurl at someone multiple times. Like, that 12 damage is a lot.
I don't know if I'd really call that a fun card.
Doubling
if
season.
you're playing it,
Doubling
Fun for me.
Yeah, doubling season is like the epitome of casual type fun.
Yeah.
Things.
So, like, paying 6 mana and exiling 6 cards for a 24/24 seems all right, though.
Yeah.
Now, I shouldn't be having to try and convince people of things that are good with a doubling season, but I think this card's really exciting.
Yeah, I was gonna say lots of things.
What is cards with counters?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair. But this card it's fun and it's exciting, and like everything has seemed so super pushed and interesting, and I love this whole new design philosophy of everything's really pretty strong.
I think that's going to lead us to really, really awesome, exciting spoiler seasons. But then in actual practice, we end up I'm hoping we don't end up with a whole bunch of Oko situations.
Yeah.
So may I throw out a card that I think
Yeah.
is pushed here? It is a blue card, Tam. It is Nadir, Nadir, Kraken.
This card's cool.
I think I did see this one. It had a lot of words on it. And
It has lots of words on it.
Man, why you guys
So
keep trying to
let
make
me read it
these
to you.
words?
It is
We got it. We will.
it is one blue. And by the way, I just want to describe the art real quick. It's a giant kraken with all its legs in the air with a bunch of tiny ships that are about to be doomed.
It's-
It is.
Oh,
I think
it
it's
is-
supposed.
those are ships.
Yeah, those are ships.
I think
it's wonderful.
I think it's supposed to be Scylla and Charybdis, or one of the two from the Odyssey.
Oh,
There's
fair.
2 sea monsters. There's like 2 sea monsters that they have to go between, and so in the Odyssey. So I'm pretty sure this is a reference to Scylla and Charybdis.
Nice.
Or one of those two, because they're 2 separate creatures. But
How very cultured. of you.
Weird flex, but okay.
I took 4 years of Latin in high
We're-
school, and
we're
I have an
flexible.
English degree. I got nothing else. This is all I got.
flexing on me.
I went to school for this.
Whatever.
All right, so it is one blue. It is creature type kraken, not a legendary. Sad day. But whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on Nadir Kraken and create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token.
And I saw this card. Like it's first. I mean, it's the default joke of seems awesome in Commander, but this seems like I want to. Can we make this happen in a standard control deck?
Why
I
wouldn't
think
I,
you
I
can.
wouldn't necessarily say that, in a control deck, but opt's legal. You have a lot of cards already that incentivize you into drawing multiple cards in a turn. Gesundheit. As an example, you have the 0/3 from Theros that deals 3 damage when you draw your second card of the turn. Mm-hmm. You have the twins.
Well,
Are you calling them the twins, the Royal Scions?
Yeah, the Kenrith twins.
And
Twins.
seriously, if you
Twins,
think you can't build a deck that lets you draw cards in blue,
This might be the first time we've said this here, but drawing cards in Magic is good.
The
It is a good thing to do.
This is one of those cards that unfortunately falls for the whole dies to Doomblade type thing. Obviously, Doomblade is
That's
not
fair.
a card in standard.
Dies to
but
removal.
It dies to removal, which is a good thing. I think we could definitely have some cool cards
But-
that do.
but then there's a
stuff
bunch
that
of-
you need to jump through some hoops before it gives you something good.
But I think that but with new design philosophy, and this is kind of how I approach a lot of deck building stuff, is everything dies to removal. That's the point of it. But if you can play,
except gods that are indestructible and kind of enchantments.
that's true. And like so, this thing is not particularly hard to kill. You don't. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't have the benefit of being indestructible or not a creature some of the time. But if you can just fill your deck with cards, and maybe this is why I like playing mid range so much. If you can fill your deck with cards that say "Answer me or I'll probably win," that is a very legitimate strategy.
Well, and I also like that it's low costed and we're playing in a set that gets you cards out of your yard.
And this it doesn't have it just says whenever you draw any card, even for your normal draw, right?
Yeah.
So like even if you don't you can build around it, you can run the twins, you can run opt.
So-
If you untap with it and you want to spend 1 mana and you get another body and this thing gets bigger, that seems really good.
It's bad Bitter Blossom, but even bad Bitter Blossom is still pretty good.
Yeah.
So look at it from this perspective as far as the whole dies to removal thing. Not necessarily that you can kill it with the Doomblade, but the problem is if you tap out on turn 3 with this card, play it, and your opponent just answers it immediately, it didn't do anything.
That's
Like
true.
you got a removal spell out of their hand, which is not that exciting.
But,
Like the
but-
old days of the Titans, where they came into play, they did something. So even if they immediately kill it, you got some value out of the card you played.
Yeah.
I mean, but also counterspells a thing. So I mean,
Yeah, so I mean, you can stop it from there. I've lost count of how many times I've gotten just wrecked by Cavern of Souls, but thankfully that is not a standard legal card. Mm-hmm. Watsy, make sure that stays the way
Or
the
don't.
same way. Please,
Or don't.
pretty please.
I like
Sugar on
it.
top.
Don't do it.
Like
No, not do it.
What is the best counterspell in Standard right now? Do you think?
I hate that fish. I don't know if it's the best.
Oh,
I'm so
the
sick
frilled
of it.
mystic.
My gripe right now is I am not against counterspells. I am against the green-blue flash deck, and it seems to have adjusted a little bit into running some sorcery speed stuff. I do not think a
Flashy.
deck should just be instant speed because then there are no choices.
Well, that's not entirely true because you do have the druid and you have Nisa.
Okay, wait, no, those are no, and those are getting played, and I like that. Honestly, I do. I like that those decks have to tap out at 5 mana, sorcery speed.
Well, they have the choice of either, well, do I tap out for 5 mana here, make a 3/3, and hope they don't play anything that immediately answers it, or do I wait a few turns and just leave open counterspells and flash in this 4/4 on their end step?
my biggest gripe is when that deck was 100% instant speed. That is just that's too easy in my eyes. You need to make choices. If you can just only do things at instant speed all the time, you're not really making any great interesting choices because you just get to decide what's the best thing I can do at the latest point, and you just always get to choose the best thing. You don't ever have to risk it.
But at the same time, like it as the way the turns go, you have to think a little bit more about what mana you leave open and what answers you leave open for the instance that they may be holding.
No,
in their
I mean
hands.
that's, and I don't want to be like.
So I think it does. It doesn't necessarily take away all the choices. It just pushes the choices onto the other player.
I think it reduces the choices the player has to make, and I think it's control decks are more interesting when you have to sometimes tap out at sorcery speed to do something, because then I think your opponent gets a chance, and I think games are more dynamic. But again, I'm not against counterspells or control decks. But anyway, I think that I actually kind of want to do a whole topic on why that initial iteration of that deck pissed me off. But Dave,
Anyway,
what's the card you want to
spoiler.
talk about? What's the card?
Grey Merchant.
Okay,
Immediately
so
talk about the reprint of Grey Merchant.
Grey Merchant of Asphodel, which this is a reprint.
Yeah, and the art, it is a black card, Tam.
We have new sweet.
And
I like
the artwork of it to the point where I might actually play these over the ones that I already have.
So you actually, it's yep, right there.
Yeah, there's Gary. Gary! Which
We call Grey
I'm
Merchant.
not sure why everyone calls him Gary, but we all agreed simultaneously without discussing with one another that you just call it Gary.
That's Gary.
Yeah,
It's Gary.
I was like,
People
yeah,
on Reddit have been
sure.
asking why, and it's like, well,
That one vault in Fallout 3 where it's all some dude named Gary and a bunch of people and a bunch of Garys that were cloned, and all they do is just shout out their name
no, it
and
wasn't.
like
It
run
was
up to you
only
with baseball bats.
it was all cloned off one guy. The whole
Yeah,
vault
yeah,
was filmed
Gary.
only from Gary.
Yeah, it's only Gary's.
It's only Gary.
And they all say all they say is Gary. In
They-
like a very threatening way.
Read the card for the audience here. Grey Merchant of
I got
Asphodel?
this one. Grey
Okay.
Merchant of Asphodel is 3 colorless, 2 black.
Yes.
When it comes into play, your opponent loses life equal to your devotion to black.
Each
you
opponent.
gain that much life. I've never played it in a
It's,
multiplayer.
it's
game.
really good in Commander. It's
opponent.
each, and
It
you
was-
gain that much.
It was really good in Limited. We figured that out real quick at the Theros pre-release.
because it was a common in
yeah.
original Theros.
Is it? Oh, it's an
It's
uncommon
an
now?
uncommon now.
Daggers.
Uncommon 2/4 zombie.
Yeah, it is insanely good.
That is
like,
insanely good.
it was nuts in multiples. Like if you could get a sealed pool with 3 of them or a draft
Yeah.
with 3 of them, yeah, sure, that's kind of slow and you might get overrun by the mono black deck in draft for Triple Theros was really weird, where you're playing a lot of like not good cards, but then you're playing Grey Merchant at the top of your curve and you just blew them the fuck out with it. That was also when you could choose a color for the pre-release.
Okay.
Obviously, I chose black at
Lord.
all 5 of the ones that I did.
So glad we're done with that.
And you got your own, and each one had their own promo. And the one for the black one was some banshee thing that made harpies when it came into play.
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
It made harpies
equal
equal
to the devotion, and you, your devotion to black, and you had to sacrifice a creature on your upkeep.
I wonder how much devotion we're gonna get in the new set.
Seems like a pretty fair amount.
I mean, we're dealing with gods.
All the gods have it, and it looks like there's going to be a cycle where there's going to be an uncommon cycle. Looks like where depending on your devotion to a color, you get a thing. Like the white one makes 1/1s, the green one looks like you're gaining life. Hopefully, the red one we're going to get another damage dealing one, because that Fanatic of Mogus was awesome last Theros.
Fanatic of Mogus. I remember that one felt really weird because it was 1 red, 3 colorless to cast.
Yeah.
And it felt like that was one of those that you could probably justify it being 1 3 red.
I think you want it to be 1/3 red. I
Yeah,
feel like that was
you'd rather
absolutely
have it that way.
Yeah.
Like I've played a decent amount of the devotion stuff in modern. Like there was a mono green devotion deck that I played for a bit, and that deck was stupid funny. It was abusing Nykthos and things like that.
I
Similar to
made
how
a
the
version
Pioneer
of
deck
that.
does.
I
but-
made it with Garruk Wildspeaker and then
Garruk Wildspeaker and the enchantments that let your land tap for multiple
Arbor Elves. Yeah, I actually had that deck.
You could go off on, like, there were at least a few instances where I just emptied my hand on turn 2, and then my opponent started telling me how lucky I was and how, how non-skill intensive my deck is, and then I just overrun my Garruk and killed him on turn 3.
Oh, yeah,
Fun game!
Or you get a
Not for him.
Craterhoof Behemoth.
Look, I'm
Oh,
gonna tell
that
you
was a
right
good time.
now, if your turn 2 is playing a Strangleroot Geist, and then you get pissed off at me for comboing you out on turn 2, maybe you shouldn't play Magic. Hot take. Maybe this game's not for you. Who knows?
Come for the weirdly political pre-show. Stay for Dave's hot takes. That's what we're here at MTG studying on.
On this modern format from 7 years ago.
Ouch, Dave. Some people are more casual than these excellent tier 2 plays.
I'm 100% on board with people being casual, but if you go on to Magic Online and then you want to try and go after some dude that's comboing you out on turn 2
With a
trying to do
not
something
very
cool,
good deck.
in the 2-man queues,
Yeah.
With also a deck that was in no way tier 1. It wasn't.
Look.
It wasn't a tier. Dave, I played the deck. It was fun. It wasn't
We
tier
all
1.
know how good Elvish Visionary is. Do you know how good Elvish Visionary is when it adds 3 green devotion? Way worse. It's actually way worse. But it does add 3 green devotion, which is pretty dope.
Do you just make something 3 and 1 red to decrease its devotion? Yeah, I don't know. With the casting costs that we were talking about.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Mogus,
we were talking about the
yeah.
Fnatic
Oh,
Mogus.
we're,
Yeah, it was.
we're talking about relevant things.
I don't know. Did Mogus die in the storyline or something?
No, he's
we
fine.
might
He's
get
around.
him
He's
back.
kicking. We can get Fnatic and Mogus back. He's around. I want to do a card. I want to bring one up. Tam, it's a white card. It is Heliod, Sun Crown.
Heliod.
So
This is the good Heliod.
this one is pushed.
Whoa.
Top
Heliod's
right.
still kind of an
The
ass.
other
he's kind of a dick.
No, I mean as in the other Heliod Heliod cards were.
No, sorry.
You didn't like the other Heliod?
Heliod Sun Crowned. Tam.
It
I'm
felt
crazy.
underwhelming.
Okay. I can see.
Last set Heliod
Yeah.
was not good.
I liked it a lot in draft. I didn't like it in constructed.
He saw little constructed play in like some green ramp deck.
It was just kind of.
He was a mana
It
sink.
was it was hokey. Okay, mana sinky.
If I remember right, I think the Tiwu had his Pillow Fort deck, and the 2 ones that the old Heliod made, I'm pretty sure they were enchantments.
They were 2 enchantment clerics.
So you had Safety Sphere playing really nice with that, where you just keep jamming out your win conditions off of your Heliod, taxing your opponent more to attack you, and just watch them get mad.
So I mean,
That's probably my favorite
old
thing
Heli-
about white cards is taxes.
Old Heliod was okay, but this Heliod is like I've been a little annoyed that most white legendaries are just life gain focused. We got Linden, which here's the thing: in a vacuum, Linden and Heliod are fine, or Heliod's great. But I'm a little annoyed. I wish Wizards would expand the design space a little bit. But this card is really actually super nuts. Somebody smarter than me initially pointed out, like, oh, wow, so this is a 2-card infinite combo in Pioneer with Walking Ballista.
I don't think that's going to be enough to get. Because I remember you saying something about.
I
don't know if this card's going to be good.
I'm gonna bet you right now, by a year from right now,
Okay.
Walking Ballista will be banned in Pioneer.
I will accept your gentleman's wager. What are your terms?
What do you want?
All right. Maybe we should talk about terms before I accept.
Okay,
this.
what do you want to do for terms? What do you want to do for terms? You could buy. We could do just like something that just benefits one of us off.
Pizza Cast.
Pizza Cast.
Pizza Cast.
Pizza Cast.
Whoever loses buys pizza for the podcast.
Yep, I'm down. So yep.
See, I wanted to take a pot shot at Star Trek,
What's this Heliod again?
but I couldn't think of it. I honestly don't remember what the old Heliod name was.
Sun's champion. I'm down for Pizza Cast. Pizza Cast, Dave.
Pizza Cast. All right, it's settled.
It's on. So
So
a year from now in Pioneer, we are gonna have Walking Ballista banned. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna happen.
all right,
Because
so
of this card.
So what you're saying
Potentially,
is,
but that's a part of
this
the
is this is going to get you to start going to Pioneer, PTQs, cash tournaments, and GPs, playing Walking Ballista and Heliod, trying to shut people the fuck out in the top 8, and just consistently win until they go, gotta get rid of this Walking Ballista card.
I'm not
It's
gonna
too
have
good.
to do it.
It's too good.
It's going to happen. Walking
going-
Ballista is going to get banned. I'm just echoing Pleasant Kenobi, who is got a better beard than I do and is way more popular. But yeah. Say again.
So, could you read the card? Guys?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, JC,
For the audience.
JC's
purposes.
over here like, I want to care about the audience.
Screen.
This
It's on the
this
screen.
podcast is so me and Dave can yell and be boisterous.
Don't
and, yeah.
don't worry, audience. I got you.
That was,
So-
That guy listening in the truck who can't look up the card right now wants to know what the fuck we're talking about. I got you.
So Heliod is a 5/5 for 1 white and 2. So 5/5 for 3. He's a legendary enchantment creature god. He's indestructible. As long as your devotion to white is less than 5, he isn't a creature. So you need him and 4 additional white pips for him to be a 5/5. Whenever you gain life, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control, and you can pay 1 white and 1, and another target creature gains lifelink until end of turn.
So what I'm hearing is the way that we. Okay, so the damage being dealt is what gives them the counters.
Yeah.
The walking ballista.
Yep.
Does it have to? Does it specify combat damage?
Nope.
Because it really feels like it should.
It maybe should. Whenever you know, so it's whenever you gain life, you get a counter.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So the
okay,
walking
okay.
ballista, we get 2 counters on it. We ping them for 1. He triggers. We put a counter on walking ballista, and we kill them.
Do you have to? You're obligated to play Phenomena while you're comboing off. By the way.
I mean, yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't want to buy this deck in paper because I think it's going to be I think it's going to get banned. But
You think it's gonna get banned?
I just made a bet of buying us all
So-
pizza.
I know.
So
I think it's gonna get
walking,
banned.
Walking Ballista
Oh,
has
Walking
been good in
Ballista.
every single format.
That's fair.
That it's been printed in, with maybe the exception of Vintage, but I think it's actually probably been better in Vintage than it has in Legacy because you have workshops and things
Yeah.
like that. Like Walking Ballista is obviously a very, very good card and probably a bit too pushed, but I don't.
And walking ballista again?
I don't think that. I think people.
Walking Ballista is what Walking Ballista does.
Yeah.
Or I don't
You
know.
wanna
If
know
you're
why-
asking
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you take it, Dave.
It is an XX artifact creature. That's a 0/0. It comes into play with X +1/+1 counters on it.
Right.
You can remove a +1/+1 counter to deal 1 damage to any target, and you may pay 4 mana to put a +1/+1 counter on it.
Nice.
So yeah, and it's been seeing play in Pioneer. I might still be seeing play in those mono green devotion decks.
It's been seeing play in every format it's been legal.
It's a
in,
super-
honestly.
it's a
Like,
super good
It's
card.
very, very good.
Super
Modern
good.
in particular, it's a
Pizza,
new.
pizza cast.
It's a new thing that, well, new-ish thing. Not even that. It's like 2 years old. But it's a card that the Tron decks had started playing very quickly after
Oh, yeah.
it got printed. We were like, whoa, well, this looks like a non-Eldrazi that we can just do busted shit with.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's still plenty of answers for it. What I hope ends up happening is I hope that this combo actually does something, and everybody goes, well, shit, I better have an answer for this deck, or I'm just going to lose.
I mean, he dies. He dies to killing creatures, and he dies to killing artifacts.
True.
I mean,
And-
yeah, it's he's one of the easiest. A artifact creature is probably the easiest combination of card types to kill.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at a format where you're allowed to play Thoughtseize. You have virtually every removal spell hits this thing.
Yeah.
Like you can hit it with Fatal Push.
He
you can,
he gets hit,
all the good
it,
red
It gets hit by
incidental
all the
stuff.
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at comboing, like when does this deck go off? I guess
It
is the
can
real
go
question.
if you so it can go off turn 3 if you're running some kind of like green white dork package. The reality of it is if you want to do it all in one turn, it's like 9 mana. Now it's easy to so I think the best version of this deck, and there's a couple other things like you could do a hardened scales version, and then there's a couple other cards can kind of enable your combo. There's like an instant or sorcery that gives like a +1/+1 counter and lifelink. So there's a few cheaper ways to do it. But I think the dream is you just like play Heliod on turn 3. He's not a creature, so he's an indestructible enchantment.
Yeah.
And then you untap, you play
Then
Walking Ballista.
Then you just play your anti-enchantment card and get rid of him.
So the problem you can't just do it straight on 4 without what that I think it's like 1 white creature get a +1 against a +1/+1 counter and or it gets +1/+1 and lifelink and then you just go.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Otherwise, you need to be able to pay 4 for the ballista and 2 to activate Heliod. So it takes 6 mana to get both of those out. Or you can go turn 2 Walking Ballista for 1, Heliod, give it lifelink, attack, and then go. It's like I think there's options. I think there's ways to do it. I just think
I think you might be buying pizza.
Dave's buying pizza. Here's the thing. People have drawn the
I feel like I'm in a
comparison.
much stronger position because the burden of proof is on you guys to prove to us as a collective whole of the Magic players that this combination of cards is too degenerate.
Okay, so Splinter Twin, the cards in Splinter Twin aren't that good by
Agreed.
themselves.
They're all bad cards.
Walking Ballista is a wildly good card.
Yep.
And
It
this
is a wildly good
Heliod
card.
seems really strong. Like usually this is like
This
the,
Heliod, yeah, no doubt.
so
This Heliod.
if I get to run a deck full of good cards that also I just also get to win with sometimes when I draw these 2 cards in an order seems too good for Pioneer.
Well-
They took Saheeli Cat away from us.
Yeah.
And the Cat and Saheeli, I think, are both weaker than these two cards.
I think that you have to jump through a lot more hoops to make this work as opposed to the Saheeli Cat deck.
You
I
need
think
to get
the
a
Saheeli
walking-
Cat deck was just kind of go for it.
You need a walking ballista with 2 counters and Heliod.
Okay.
That's not
So-
that much
So
stuff.
if I have any removal spell, if
Right,
you start
that's-
going
that's
off with
the
your
thing.
Heliod, you can respond by shooting me again, but your thing dies to state-based effects.
I know. I need to get another counter on it. I mean,
That's why I'm saying I don't necessarily think it will get banned because there's too many ways to deal with it and break it.
I'm saying I'm not buying this deck because it sounds awesome, but I'm fairly certain it's going to get banned. So the time will tell.
Time will
we're
tell.
going to move on out of this topic
Oh,
in
no,
just a second.
one more.
I know it.
I'm not done
we're
with pizza bet. Hold up. When's the timeline of if
I
it's
said
not
a year.
banned?
By
A year?
January 2nd, 2021,
Perfect.
when we're all
Don't worry.
under the sea.
He's going to be. Dave will be buying his. But if it gets banned before, then you buy when the ban, or I buy at the end
buy
of the
when
year.
the ban or
Wow.
buy when it
I will
expires.
buy the pizza. January 2nd.
Oh come on!
2021.
I want to be. I want to be eating pizza when it's like May, because that's when I think we're going to be having a ban. I think it's going to be fast.
We'll figure it out.
Yes, we are not moving past
But,
this
so,
topic
I was-
without
as I-
talking about.
As I was going to say, we need to move on because we're running long on topic 1 already. But I know that there's a card you desperately want to
Yes,
talk about,
I
JC. So we're going to talk about it before we move on.
Desperately do. I believe her name is Galia.
Galia,
Galia?
and it's a multicolored card, Tam. We were talking about her earlier on in the pre-show, which you can watch if you pay us if you give us $1 on Patreon. Just saying,
And
it got weird this week. It got weird.
let me pull up her card text. Okay, she is
Not,
Galia of the Endless Dance. Costs 1 red, 1 green. Legendary creature, satyr. She's got haste. She's a 2/2. Other satyrs, which I mean, how many satyrs are there?
12.
a lot.
There's only like 12.
No,
There's
they're a
not a
decent
ton.
amount. There's Eidolon of the Great Revels.
Well, those satyrs just got a lot better. Other satyrs you control get 1/1 and have haste. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may discard a card at random. If you do, draw 2 cards with the flavor text. There is no success like excess. And
we've got the art pulled up for if you're watching the show and not listening to us. So,
yeah, it's got a satyr who is partying way hardy. Has got a guy in a headlock, and she's a cheerful, jubilant. It's a very colorful card. I enjoy it. I think it's a very party card.
no, it's super fun. They're giving
Right
us
back on Andrew WK.
Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop.
They're giving us a lot of cheap legendary creatures, which is exciting for
Yep.
Commander. It's exciting for Brawl. It also lets them push cheap
It is a
constructed playable cards
cheap
because
legendary satyr that allows you to make satyr tribal.
and there are Saber I did some looking.
Hashtag satyr tribal.
There's like 2 other playable satyrs as of right now. There's like the 2-1-for-1 that like takes damage. Like damages you for however much it gets hurt. And
so
there's like
wizards,
I
get
love
on
the
printing us
satyr.
some
I
Fire Drinker
satyrs.
Satyr?
Fire Drinker. I think Eidolon of the Great Revel.
I'm pretty sure that's a satyr.
It's
pretty sure
it's
it
an
was.
Eidolon.
Well, yeah, it can be both. Can't it be an enchantment satyr?
I don't think
I'm checking
I
it.
don't think her ability is
How do you spell
particularly
Eidolon?
strong. It's sort of late gamey. I do like that she's a 2/2 with haste.
That's
that
not
gives
even an
other
Eidolon, it's a
satyrs
spirit.
haste.
Oh, that's dumb. It looked
And
like.
1/1.
Oh, so no, the satyrs are just reveling around it.
Yes. But I
Rats.
think there is. We're gonna slowly. It's one of those things where they'll give us like the here you can do satyr tribal. I think it's hard to do it.
Oh yeah,
But
no,
they're gonna give us more satyrs. And if you want to play commander,
no.
you could run changelings. You have options.
What I'm saying here is I'm excited for the future that this card promises me.
That's fair. No, and the card's awesome. It's constructed playable.
It is constructed playable.
Just remember that using changelings in your tribal deck is for quitters. Like that's way too easy. You like the.
But Dave, then my tribal deck only has 3 creatures.
So, truth be told, Dave, I build a lot of tribal decks because I like playing tribal things. I never put like anything that's shapeshifter.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
Anything in there
Boo.
because I'm very much like, no, it's not actually
Mineral's
a
fine.
dinosaur. It's not actually.
But you gotta be-
So I was a little persnickety about the lizards there. Now dinosaurs. I'm not putting shape changers in my.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you get to be that fun guy at parties. Whoever somebody says there's only 12 satyrs, you can go. Actually, if you count
Actually-
all of the changeling, there's approximately 47. I don't know if that's right, but if I am, that would have been neat.
Anyway, the card's super fun. It's not particularly bent or powerful or broken, but I think it's fun art, and I think it promises something fun.
When we were talking to our group chat, like discarding a card at random is not that much fun, but
when you have 1 out, 2 in,
yeah,
that's way better.
Yeah.
That is so much better. That might be a bit much, honestly, because it was Desperate Ravings was a card from Old Innistrad, and Desperate Ravings had the random word on it, but
and discarding cards in a set where you want things in your yard.
yeah.
Absolutely.
No, so this card, it's fun. It seems good for Brawl. It seems good for Commander. It's just a neat card, and it's an exciting that they're giving us low-cost legendary creatures, and the art's fun. It's kind of wacky, and it's
A lot of the art from this set, like I encourage you to go look at the art from this set. It's all very colorful. It's cool.
Now, back on this card, you're discarding the card at random before you draw, correct?
I think so. I mean, so,
So I think that should be...
You may discard a card at random. If you do, draw 2 cards.
So that's at least a good sign there, in that if you know that your hand is nothing but garbage...
yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares what you discard? then?
Exactly.
You get to change in some dead card for potentially 2 live
And it's a May, too.
Yeah.
So, like, no, this card's great, and it's exciting to see more pushed legendary
Revelant.
creatures. Yeah.
All
so,
Revelant.
Or I have 1 card in my hand, and it's a card that I very much want to get from the yard because it costs, oh my god.
Just right back on Queen Papadopoulos.
yeah.
Discard her, rebuy her as a 12/12. Go.
That new there's that
Oh,
new
look, I
bit.
drew 2 cards.
That
Isn't
new-
that-
Oh,
isn't that
Oh,
great?
look at that, yeah.
Isn't that just quacking crazy?
Yeah. So again, we could sit here for hours and probably do this, so we're gonna need to move on. But check out the spoilers. By the time you by the time this airs, most of the set will be out, but we'll still be in. We'll be a little past halfway. So pay attention to spoilers. If you're newer to Magic, before a set comes out, the preceding 2 weeks, they slowly release the cards a few cards a day. And if you're on Reddit or another social media site that does Magic stuff, it's really fun to kind of watch them come out slowly. So I'd really recommend give it a try. It's fun, and then it's like the most exciting time for the year for Magic players, and it happens for like about 4 times a year. And then you got to be like, oh, did you see blank? No, and then it's kind of a fun moment. Me and Dave were sitting upstairs earlier, flipping through the spoilers and talking about
I
it.
was explaining why Char did nothing wrong until Char's counterattack.
Plus, I mean, look at all this content for us content creators.
Yeah, no, it's great. Also, a lot of times, Wizards will give these out to people. Like, we're a podcast Wizards, and
We are a podcast wizards.
we're palatable to a general audience, probably.
You know, I'm
We
going to
are.
go out on a limb here and say if they do give us a preview card, I'm assuming, for the next set, Basic Swamp.
I'll take it.
Swamp.
I'm gonna take the bold stance that preview for whatever's after Theros. Basic Swamp, fantastic card, easily the best basic land.
Promise right now, if you're a top tier Patreon and we get Basic Swamp, we'll all sign it, give it to you.
So, there you go, Wizards. Dave really wants Korea Basic Swamp to preview.
Yeah, so please send us that preview card if you could, pretty please. We all know. Well, they may not print it. I don't know.
They don't have to.
They have set the precedent that they will print some basic lands in an expansion and not others.
Fun fact, somebody pointed this out to me.
Arabian Nights.
Well, I was going to say, the only reason that, do you know why basic lands are standard legal? Because they've been printed in the most recent, in standard card pools.
Yamaro.
They aren't just legal.
Yeah,
Yamaro.
that's true.
They aren't just legal, which is obvious probably, but it kind of blew my mind. It's like, whoa, if they just didn't print one of the basic lands for 2 years, it would no longer be standard legal.
Yeah.
They wouldn't because it'd be dumb, but they could.
You know what? If they really want to have some shake up to standard, just don't print Island for the next 2 years.
So they basically haven't
just
print.
watch what happens.
You're telling me my Basic Snowland is not legal because they have not reprinted Basic
Yeah,
Snowland.
not in standard. Not in standard, is
or
it?
Pioneer. Can't play it in Pioneer.
That's right. Okay, we're going to
Yes.
move on. But before we move on, we are going to do a quick word from our sponsors.
Thanks, Brett. Ads right here. So our first sponsor for the show is Cards Custom Build. My dad, my family, my last name is Cardwell, has taken and they make really awesome cosplay and props and such. So there's a bunch of pictures on the screen. Thank you, Tyler, of the awesome cosplays that he's done of me in as Woody and him as Buzz Lightyear. And he's made a Han Solo and Carbonite replica. He's made a life-size R2-D2. He's been in papers and he does charities, and he wants us to take and and spread stuff to the cosplay community. So if you go out to facebook.com/cardscustombuild or see the Etsy link down in the description down below, and you mention that you are from TCG University or you know me, Tamara Cardwell, you can get 5% off your entire order. And he doesn't just do big, huge cosplays. He also does a bunch of little baby small props as well. I know for one time for my birthday, I got all 12 of the Jackie Chan Adventures talismans. So he puts in special requests. Just hit him up. Once again, that's facebook.com/cardscustombuild or the Etsy link for Cards Custom Build down in the description down below. Our second sponsor is Inked Gaming. If you are serious about any sort of gaming, you know that gaming has to have accessories, from playmats to dice to bags to mat holders and so on and so forth. Inked Gaming is where you can take and get all of your custom gear, whether it be our logo or yours, whatever you want, they can take and put it on. Some of the best quality mats that I've done, I've ordered mats from all over the internet, and I gotta say, Inked Gaming so far has been my absolute favorite. They've got really nice stitch embroidered edges. The mats are not ultra thick, but they don't feel thin and cheap either. Inked Gaming has got some really quality stuff. So if at your checkout you type in the promo code TCG University, you'll get a discount at your checkout. I would love to see on our social media all the cool stuff that you get from Inked Gaming using our promo code. That would be rad. And then our last sponsor of the night is the TCGU bookstore. We have unlocked a new thing here in 2020 where we are doing merchandise. Yes, merchandise, where we can take and, thanks to threadless.com, we can take and put a singular logo, and you can order it on a bunch of different items, from coffee cups or coffee mugs to shirts to, we can even make leggings. There's some special order stuff that you can do if you request it. Currently we have two logos. We have our classic TCGU logo, as well as a hashtag James Sucks logo. You can just put on a bunch of different stuff. We're gonna have more pictures, more merchandise coming here in the future. But for now, if you're seeing this live on YouTube, we have the first 2 weeks that it's up, free shipping for you. So once again, that's threadless.com. All of these links are in the description down below. Let's go back to the podcast.
And we are back. And I want to let our listeners who are checking us out on YouTube know that if you are watching on the Patreon live stream, or if you're watching the VOD afterwards, you actually get this ad-free. We add the ads in post. So if you want to watch us ad-free, then Patreon. And if not, you just got to watch the ads that just happened. I'm sure they were exciting. I don't know. We haven't done them yet. Okay, topic 2 is going to be...
best and worst of 2019.
Best and worst of 2019. So we are just each going to pick a personal favorite, a personal least favorite card thing, magic-related thing.
Can we just put this one out here so we can get it all off of our chests? That Oko is probably one of the best and worst things of 2019.
I would give Oko an honorable mention, because
I think he's
shit-talked
honorable.
so much Oko.
Honorable mention for this entire category for best and worst.
Which is weird.
He's given us a lot of
because Field
content.
of Ruin was just leaps and miles better than Oko was.
Yeah, true.
And they snuffed him. I feel like we spent way more time talking about Oko than we have Field of the Dead, and I feel like Field of the Dead just got to walk away whistling Dixie.
Yeah, I think
Whistling Zombie Dixie.
Well, I
I
think
don't know what
it's
that sounds
It's
like.
harder. It's easy to we got.
It's in a minor key.
Oko was a character we could like hate on. The other thing was like a land that crapped out zombies. It's harder.
Yeah, what are you gonna just shit all over the probably? Yeah.
We are, but it's harder to go screw that land, and also
Rather,
the elk
yeah.
memes. So no. As content creators, yeah, it was really nice. As players, it was annoying. So yeah, I'll give you all of our honorable mentions. Sure.
I, for one, welcomed our elk overlords.
So, are either of you ready? If
got,
not, I can
so
go.
I can talk mad shit on something in 2019.
Okay.
You can go first if you'd like.
I got a weird one.
Okay.
I just want to point this out. So, the My Little Pony set. Let me talk about this for just a second.
Is this the high or your low? Or are you just going off? Are you just going off script?
This is a low, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it's a low. So I know that Magic is not UFS, and it's not just a game where Hasbro gets to import all their properties and just do a thing with it. I mean, they do that. They can do that with a little bit with the unsets, and they can do it with like strange things. But generally, they keep their world cohesive and together, and they don't throw in this alternate universe shit. I get that. They largely don't do that. I wish. Part of me wishes they wouldn't. If you're gonna put out Magic, My Little Pony cards for Magic, make them legal to play.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's
a take.
That was a take. That was absolutely a take.
So you're saying if they're going to do, because they've done a couple.
What I'm saying is, don't make them ridiculous. Actually think through how they would be standard, legal, and fun in a way, and make them. Because I didn't like it. I didn't like when they released just the cards to the Chinese market either.
Sometimes they'll do convention ones too, like Transformers cards.
Because
and
it's
stuff.
like this: if
Transformers has its own game.
Battle
Report's not very good.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make these cards, I want to play with them, and I don't get an opportunity to play with them if they're not legal in anything, because I don't really play with people or anything that do like bullshit fun games.
I can't remember the last time that I played against anyone that busted out a cardboard carapace and then busted out their binder full of cardboard carapaces. Damn, pull that one up.
That an uncard?
Yeah, from the first unset. Cardboard carapace.
So
but yeah, I know it's a weird thing to hate on here, but like it's like, I don't know.
Okay.
If you print a My Little Pony card or any of like Hasbro owns a ton of properties. They could do this with like a lot of things.
Death Row Records, I think, is one of the things they have, right?
I think that was a recent acquisition.
Yeah, that's fucking wild, isn't it?
Yeah, that's weird.
And I know like we don't want to turn Magic into that, but like.
So
and it's fun to make a Magic card of it. I don't know. It's just a weird thing.
They'll periodically do some weird, wacky type stuff. Like, I'm looking forward to whenever they have the next thing involving Danny Trejo and Day 9.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
You know.
So I liked that you did it. I'm talking to you, Wizards. I like that you did this. I think it's fun. I think it's kooky. I think it's ridiculous. I wish you would have done it for reals.
Wow. So My Little Pony in black, not being in black border. Side note, if you build together a silver bordered commander deck, you're fine. As long as you don't make me do anything ridiculous.
Fair.
Anytime you want to bring over like a silver
no confetti.
card. I mean, if you want to run Sword of Dungeons and Dragons in your commander deck, you go for it.
Because remember, there was that tie-in. I think was it this year or last year?
Which one?
The D&D Magic crossover.
They did one where it was a D&D Sword. Did Sword of Dungeons and Dragons. They did a Transformer, and they did a Nerf gun one where you literally milled them.
D&D has a book now about the plain Ravnica.
The plane shift stuff. No, there's the Ravnica. There's the Ravnica book.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean they're willing to do some stuff.
And let me be clear. I also don't want the My Little Pony cards to be black bordered either, because that just makes Magic the Gathering weird.
White border?
So,
you want to live like a plebeian? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
let's
have Fluttershy as a white bordered Pegasus. I don't know what Fluttershy. Does Fluttershy have wings?
Fluttershy's a Pegasus, yeah.
Damn, can we find that out?
Yeah, can we do some research on this, Tam?
Let's
make Tam.
I know that Doctor Who's is a thing, and that makes me so fucking mad.
Doctor Who's is a thing.
So fucking
Anyway, okay, Dave. What's your bad? What's your
grief?
What's your grief?
Beef.
Your beef. What's your 2019 beef?
In the words of Coolio, if you've got beef, eat a pork chop. I'm pretty sure that was Coolio, at least. It would definitely be the changes they made to the Pro Tour scene.
Okay.
I like I don't really care that much of them changing it from the Pro Tour to the Mythic Championship. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I still don't understand how the Players Tour and the Pro Tour really function now, other than you will not travel internationally for Magic, which is definitely one of the big appeals of playing competitive Magic.
Right.
And it always has been with the circle of people that I've traveled to events with, that I've tested against, various things. I remember a buddy of ours qualified the hard way for Amsterdam a long time ago, and by that I mean he top 16'd. So, he's a 16-year-old kid. He has an invite to this tournament to Amsterdam. Doesn't have a plane ticket though. We figured something out.
Right.
There's a tournament like,
because you do.
Yeah.
If
you're gonna go to fucking Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And that's just one example. But there are plenty of them that people have gotten to go to Barcelona. People have been sent to Japan, Hawaii. Hawaii's still technically domestic. I think. Pretty sure. It's one of the 50 states.
I don't know if
I don't think you need a passport to go there, but it's probably hella expensive.
Yeah, it's not easy.
But that's the main beef. That if I won, I could care less about having the plane ticket as well. Like, I can figure out travel arrangements, whatever. I don't if travel arrangements are a big enough deal that it would make it more difficult to qualify, fuck it, I'll figure it out. But the idea that you can only qualify now for a Pro Tour or Mythic Championship, whatever the fuck we're calling them now, in your own region, that kind of takes some of the appeal away from competitive gaming. Don't get me wrong. I still definitely want to go to some Grand Prix. I'm still going to try and grind into the PT. Because I haven't had an opportunity to play in one of those yet, and I'd love to.
Yeah.
That's just... It feels... It just kind of feels bad that I know that I will not get to have one of those. Oh yeah, that stupid game that I play. Well, I'm going international to go play it.
Well, I think
can't you get to a certain level where you do still?
Well, you can still travel for Grand Prix and all
so
that.
I think
but...
for Pro Tours, my understanding though is like you qualify for a Pro Tour and you can go to one. So I think you could travel or something. Or maybe I'm wrong.
It feeds to your region, like the one that we have going on right now.
Only feed to the region?
Yep. So we've got at least 2 people that I know that have qualified for Pro Tours. And those are both for Phoenix.
So no Worlds or anything like that?
Well, there is going to be Worlds, but that is the result of all the different Pro Tours, I think.
Right. And that's what I mean. Like, you just gotta grind.
You gotta grind
a whole bunch.
I thought maybe you could go to the other ones, and even if you can't, the amount of changes and how unclear it is really annoying. So the fact that we're sitting here going, you can't. No, wait, maybe you can. I'll have to check.
I guess that's a little...
I mean...
We can slide right into that part too. The other part that I don't like about the new Pro Player system is no one understands how the fuck it works.
We don't, and we have a Magic podcast.
That's fair. Yeah.
And I've had multiple questions, and it's like, and everyone will be like, "No, it doesn't work that way. It works this way."
It feels like they're trying to bring it in line a little bit with like the way sports work.
The esports, yeah, they want to live in that.
They're trying to bring it to the esports, because there's Magic's been around a lot longer than a lot of other esports, but there's a lot of other esports that are way more popular or have more of a scene. And I think what Wizards is trying to do was to bring it into a format that we can put on ESPN 8, the Ocho, or something.
They've done that before, and I'm going to tell you right now, it was boring as fuck. As a matter of fact, we might as well in the show description, something I'm going to show in the post show, so stick around if you're watching live. Some gem from the past that we can absolutely pull up from the internet machine. But I'll save that for later.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what my beef is with Magic from 2019.
Fair enough.
I think it's better than my weird beef.
No. Yours is just as legitimate. It just doesn't piss me off as much as it pisses you off. So.
And this is gonna shock and appall everyone.
Brawl.
How
had it.
I'm gonna be pretty quick on this because I've done this a ton. Brawl was mismanaged up and down this year. The fact we went from all this cool Brawl stuff, we're giving you these Brawl decks, we didn't print enough, and then, we put these Commander cards in them, which, I'm not opposed to, the Commander cards in them, like other people have been pissed off about, but then they were hard to get, and then we did it on Arena, and then we didn't let us play on Arena, and then we brought it back only Wednesdays, and then we made you play on Brawl-A-Days, and then we announced Pioneer, which I love Pioneer, and I'm not opposed to it, but if they really wanted Brawl to, actually be something that people did, don't release it and the super new cool popular format a few months apart. Don't relaunch it and then give it a huge competitor. So I'm not saying they shouldn't have done Pioneer, but someone should have sat down and said, what's going to happen if we do this? And I think because of this has happened, Brawl is forever going to be relegated to an arena format. I don't think Paper Brawl is ever going to really be much of a thing.
And that's the thing. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Brawl. So Brawl, it feels like Wizards doesn't know what they want to do with Brawl. Like it feels like they kind of want it sometimes, and then they kind of don't like it other times, and they kind of want to support it, but I feel like there's a very bad family joke somewhere in here, but
we want you to play standard Commander. We're gonna give you all these tools. Here's this new thing. We actually don't want you playing it. We want you playing standard. Next year's the year of Commander. We aren't even mentioned Brawl decks. It's like, Wizards, what the hell are you doing? If you want Brawl to exist and it's a cool format and it's fun in multiplayer and it's fun in 1v1. Be consistent. Let us play it. Don't throw a million other shiny things at us. Or if you're giving us the extra stuff, keep giving us Brawl stuff this whole, we need to decide how successful Brawl was before we do more pre-con. It's been whiplash constantly.
To be fair, there's a lot of formats that Wizards doesn't do anything with
It's-
that are like legit formats.
I know
but-
it's frustrating, and you've already screwed it up once, and so now we've had the re-release, and you botched it again, guys. It's frustrating, and it pisses me off because it's like one of my favorite formats. But anyway, that's my gripe. JC, favorite, best thing.
Secret Lair.
Secret Lair.
I think Secret Lair is cool. I think it's weird that Wizards is getting directly into selling individual cards to you, kind of.
I mean, yeah, I mean they gave us Bitter Blossom, a random card
Yep.
they didn't advertise, and then tokens. So they really did sell us a card.
I think that's an interesting thing. I also think their reprinting strategy makes people who collect a little nervous in the way they did that and the kind of direction that it pushes. But overall, I mean, I thought it was a cool thing to get excited about, and I like alternate art, and I like event type things, and
they were available too.
and it was available, and I like that they printed on demand
print to demand.
print to demand, and things were running out, and it wasn't like you had to go like crash right away, like, and not get what you wanted.
Yeah, you could say
You get exactly what you wanted. You get a cool box, you get alternate art, you get these like cool little sets that you can do things with, and I think it pushes Magic into a direction of a little bit more customization of products that you can buy, and I think that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, no, I was a little surprised, but no, I think there's a lot of potential. I think there are some concerns with.
I think
we want to
there's
make sure that
concerns.
the store.
Yeah.
I would like it. I talked to some store owners. It would be nice, and this is just my idea, that maybe you could open up, if you were a Wizard WPN member, you could buy an amount of them at a reduced cost, so you could carry them and sell them at the right thing. Because if you want to be a store and you want to carry a Secret Lair,
That's
you had to
fair.
go buy 10 of them at full price and then upcharge, and then people are like, why are you upcharging it? Well, because they need to make profit because it's a store. So
I mean,
would.
and there is always that argument that like online sales kill, like, Amazon killed Barnes and Noble. Like, is Wizards going to kill local card shops by selling singles?
So I think
and
there's some things they
reprints.
can adjust.
To be fair, I feel like Amazon is going to kill a lot more
yeah,
businesses than
Amazon's
just drugs.
kill-
But we're picking up what you're putting down.
Thanks, Jeff.
But that's the thing too. Like, I feel like as long as they didn't push too far into a direction to make going to your card shop or whatever irrelevant, as long as these are like not crazy reprints,
Or
and
give them to
that,
the card
you
shop
know,
at a discount.
and like give them
There's
to the card shop too.
solutions.
Yeah, there are solutions for it. Or make particular, like, so for instance, they had a gate kept to 24 hours
Yeah.
per day that you could buy it. Make it that if you miss that window, your card shop has some.
Yeah.
So
No, I mean, my girlfriend got me the cat one. She went down to Krypton locally, and because I'd mentioned that, it looked cool, but I didn't have the money, and I didn't want to spend the money on it in the middle of Christmas, like pre-Christmas
Right.
buying. So it was like, I kind of wish I'd gotten the cat one. Oh, but it's probably not. I'm not going to do it. So I mentioned it, but then I didn't, and she got it for me for Christmas because my card shop had it, and
also the cat one's adorable.
and it's adorable. So I'm just saying, I think and they've said they're going to do more this next year. I'm excited for
I
them.
kind of like it.
I would like. I think there's a way to cut the stores in.
Yeah,
And
I
I'd
think
like to
there's
see
two.
that, but if you can pull that off, I'm totally satisfied.
Like, I could probably see it somewhere in the middle where they just create a different product for them, or support some product that already existed and have that more focused towards the, hey, stores, this is what you get, make it count. And it feels like they've done that in the past, but
I feel like
just
they absolutely
hasn't,
could do that too.
like the Modern Masters in particular. But they've kind of
the Gideon spellbook and stuff like that. So give
something like that, but good.
Gideon spellbook was pretty good value for your money. But anyway, we're already running so super long.
Yeah.
Dave, good thing.
Oddly enough, I was also gonna say Secret Lair.
Really?
I don't want to say that JC stole mine.
I
but
didn't.
JC
I did.
kinda-
I'm actually surprised you picked it too.
It's so I went
because
on some
because
rants.
it is a contentious thing.
It is definitely the way that I looked at it is I think the spellbook sucked. I'm not a big fan of the From the Vaults. I don't really like the San Diego Comic-Con Planeswalker things, and all of these feel
I
in
like-
line with
Just a quick
Secret Lair.
aside. I like getting special things when you go to cons.
Yeah, no, those are definitely cool. Like I would be a bigger fan of like a stamp or something but that's a whole different thing. Like I even own one of the San Diego Comic-Con boxes, but that's neither here nor there. But the Secret Lair thing I think was executed executed just about as perfectly as they could have done it. Like everything from it looked cool. There was appeal to every single one of those products. They made it print to demand. I don't think it is perfect, but it's definitely a step in some direction that I think we want to be going into.
Yep.
Okay.
So, but if we want to have some sort of diversity, Pioneer, because I've said it time and again, Wizards figured out how to get people excited about playing Extended.
Yeah.
So that's really what we're doing.
That was
I mean, they could have done that with Brawl. No,
it's
well, Brawl rotates ideally,
Yeah.
and so no, they gave us a new format. They gave us a
and you're right,
fairly
it's an
affordable.
extended format.
yeah.
It's actually getting support in tournaments.
They've rebranded Extended again.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, if you sell it to people as, look, this isn't going to rotate. Your cards are always going to be good for this format unless we have to ban something because it's too degenerate. If they go through the whole, modern argument before that, the legacy argument of, sure, the initial cost is kind of high, but then your stuff's good forever. Not the case, but still. And I think that Pioneer is yet another step in a good direction for the game.
Okay, I completely agree. I love that tournament we went to. Was a blast. I love the episode afterwards was really fun where we just rambled for like the whole time on it. I like Pioneer a lot. So my top of the year would have been the Brawl decks if they hadn't been my one in my
they
my
were so
low.
hard to get.
If they hadn't been botched, they would have been Brawl decks. But because they were botched, I'm just gonna say Eldraine. This set, I love this set. There were issues, but it was a strong set. I've been waiting for Arthurian for a long time. I got Excalibur. I love the Kenrith twins. I had them built, the original Battle Bond versions built. They're some of my favorite planeswalkers. Getting to learn their backstory, getting a really good book that went with the set. This set was awesome.
Yep. I also just want to say, tying in the pony cards real quick here. Like I promise I'm not ruining this. There is a way to do things that are from alternate dimensions and worlds and ideas and concepts,
And you've gingerbread
pull
man.
them into
Yeah,
the Magic universe.
You can make gingerbread man magic.
Yeah.
Which I've said time and again when drafting as well. You can't block me. I'm the gingerbread man. Which I swear to God, if whoever play tested that card didn't say that on a
I'm
regular
sure
basis,
they did.
you're not doing
I'm
your
sure
job right.
everyone has said it when they play
I
Gingerbread.
hope to God they have.
And
It's a fun little card.
I know it really. A lot of times they'll say buzzwordy things when they come out with this, like we want our players to tell a story with the cards, but it actually felt like that. Like the first episode of the show, I think, where I was going on about like, and then I turned this
Once
person
upon
into
a
pie
time,
and
this
poisoned
card's
him.
way too good.
But like. We was like, I baked him into a pie, and then I used an evil
And,
witch to poison them to death with the creature I'd baked into a pie. It's
all
fun.
the cats and the food tokens. And
So it's like they made a strong set.
the not your fairy godmother, but kind of
The fairy godmother.
Yeah, I mean, it was recognizable.
Legally distinct fairy godmother.
There was recognizable stuff.
Yep.
We got some of that Innistrad feeling of, I get this reference. And then we got the Arthurian stuff. They went in a few deeper cuts. And the book was great. I really enjoyed that book. It told a good story. It gave us a backstory on characters we knew nothing about. It brought my man Garuk back into the fold.
It did bring.
It was good.
in a strong way. That Guru
And like
card is good.
I'm stockpiling a ton of these cards. I'm like, I need all of these Magic Mirrors and Embercleaves and stuff because I want to play with these in Commander forever. I love this set. I think they, even with the issues,
I liked the storybook art that they did for it too. For those,
I like the booster starting project booster fun. Again, there's issues with that. I loved the collector's packs. It made me excited for standard packs. I got 2 of them for Christmas. That was awesome. I like the changes. I like the set. I like the power level. There were issues, but I'm a huge fan of Eldraine. So Eldraine is absolutely my high of 2019. So we've been running late. We are going to hit our third topic, but we're going to be quick. So because we did 2019, we are going to each pick a thing that we want to see in 2020. So this is not a prediction. This is the what do we want Wizards to give us in 2020. And so we know the set, so we obviously can't say Innistrad 5 because we know we're not getting Innistrad. But what do we want to see in what we roughly know 2020 is going to show us?
well, this is not at all what roughly 2020 is going to show us, but this is also JC going, hey, it's 2020. I want to see this kind of stuff. I would like some more kind of virtual reality magic. I wanted to play my creatures in a VR environment and have them spring up and towering over and
you want a Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Disc.
You
want a Yu-Gi-Oh!
I
Dual
want
Disc.
I want a Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Disc, or I want to do at least the Star Wars chess where you have
The 3D chess.
the 3D chess.
Okay.
It's 2020. I want my flying cars. I'm just
All
saying.
the treasures in the world.
We're getting an
And
MMO.
respect of my peers.
Yeah, we are getting an MMO.
So I mean, maybe
Oh,
Yeah.
Why though?
we'll be on topic there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Next episode,
So-
the MMO.
Dave, what do you want your dream? What are your dreams?
Abolish the reserve list.
Okay,
I'm not gonna. I've said it. I've said that enough. That's what I want him to
Say
do
it,
in
okay.
2020. Just say, "Oh, this reserve list thing. It was stupid then. It's stupid now. It's gone now. Hey, look, it's Arabian Nights 2 with the new card frame. Here you guys go. Look at this Bazaar Baghdad and Library of Alexandria.
You know
have
they-
fun, vintage players.
I bet you there are some people at Wizards who don't disagree with you.
I think
They just
almost
wanna do it.
almost
Probably.
everyone at Wizards wants to abolish it. They
Yeah.
can't.
Well, the thing is, their solution to that is, well, you can just play it on Magic Online. No. Fucking no, I'm not gonna do that. What are you, fucking crazy? That's madness. No.
Okay,
I'm
so-
not gonna fucking play it on Moto.
So the two dreams we've had so far, I didn't think anything would be more unlikely than JC's, but then Dave surprised me.
Ha I win.
Mine is hopefully more achievable. Wizards, bring it in. I'm talking to you.
We can't do that with
Don't
You just gotta get close. To the mic.
ruin Commander with all this Commander stuff. I'm super excited for all these decks, and I know we're going to probably have to ban a couple cards because, like I said, I'd rather you push things than just give us boring cards. And I'm really hoping we can live in a world where we we cram years full of awesome Commander products for everybody. We're adding a lot of legendary creatures. Let's not push this too far. Just don't mess everything up. You've got a great format. Don't kill the golden goose. I'm not saying don't make products. I'm excited for all the new stuff. Just don't mess it up. That's my dream, is that you just don't mess it up. My dream is Commander is in a better place a year from now than it is right now. That all of this new stuff will make the format better, more engaging, more accessible, instead of making it broken, more focused on only a handful of commanders, and more expensive.
I think
That's
it
my
will.
dream.
I think that it was named Guild Goose.
Honk,
Yay.
honk,
Fair
honk.
enough. Okay, so this is already this whatever this has been has gone on for a very long time. So we're gonna wrap things up.
Thank you for sticking with us through the whole thing.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And if you just skipped to this moment to get these weird congratulations on doing that, weird, but have them, they're yours.
Yeah.
If you stick with us this whole time, or you jump to this point just for this, you're both welcome. Patreon, we're gonna go on and do a post show for y'all. If you're on the Patreon, there's no ads on the Patreon live show or on the Patreon VOD. So check us out on Patreon, $1, and you'll get to see the post show. Also, again, I said no ads, but you can buy the merch. If you want the merch, this isn't me advertising the merch. This is me telling you can get the merch. It's different. So we're going to wrap things up for the post show. I want to say thank you all for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We're going to have a great 2020. We hope that you can join us in the class of 2020. Not an ad. We really appreciate it. Have a good one, and make sure you remember who you are. Have a good night.